morning, everyone. Joe, can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So, hi everyone, good morning. Thanks for joining our Coffee and Contract Express first episode or webcast. Up on the screen right now, we have a lovely water vista for your view, because as of course we all know, we're working from home. So we wanted to try to create something that would give us the opportunity to connect our user community. And so we wanted to tell you a little bit about ourselves for those of you who we haven't met, and a little bit about what we have planned with our Coffee and Contract Express webcast going forward. So first of all, the team that you have on the call today, for those of you who haven't met me, my name is Julie Strachan. I'm a global account executive for Contract Express based in New York, but working with many of you over the years. And so I'll be on these calls to ask questions of hopefully you, our user base, to connect you up, to talk a little bit about what we have coming. And joining me is my colleague, Joanne Matthews, and I'll let Joanne introduce herself.
Hi everyone, thank you Julie. So my name is Joanne Matthews. I'm the Customer Success Manager for Contract Express. So I'm working with our global and large law firms to support you with your Contract Express journey, whether that's change management, adoption internally, or exploring other areas of Contract Express. So I look forward to working with you.
You'll notice there's a third photo here on the screen. That's our colleague, Bruce Frampton. Bruce is based with Joanne in our London office, and we kicked off a similar version of Coffee and Contract Express in the UK about a week or so back. So Bruce was guiding that discussion. So you'll hear from some combination of the three of us on these webcasts. We also will have our colleagues Nate Baker and Johnny DeMena joining us at various times, and I know you guys are all working with different members of the team. We've obviously grown our team over the last year, so look forward to talking to all of you. So Coffee and Contract Express, what is all of this about? So many of you know that we have a user forum that we've done over the years, largely based out of the UK, but certainly in other parts of the globe as well. And we did have plans prior to the COVID situation to launch in the US this year with a number of different kind of user community meetings. And we had planned to do one in March that unfortunately had to be postponed. So what we were hoping to do was really still to connect up users in our global community to build that community, to have idea sharing, and then hopefully to translate this when we're all free to move around again into an in-person meeting. So we're hoping to make this creative, informal, different ways to engage with you. And we'll also be bringing on special guests to interview. And Joanne's going to talk a little bit more about some of that.
Yeah, so what we'd really like to do is after this session is send you a very short questionnaire to gather a bit more information about what you would like to hear about. We really want these sessions to be focused on areas that you're interested in. As Julie said, we have some exciting interviews lined up, so we may bring Cassie Waddy, the product director, onto the call and to share a bit more insight with you about the latest product releases, etc. And also if there's any more information that you need that you're interested in, so whether you'd like to hear more about what best practice, governance and things like that. So after the session, we'll be sending out, as I said, a very short questionnaire to gather that information and really inform our discussions going forward.
So Joanne is our customer success manager, which is a newer role for our global large law community in the US this year. And so Joe works with a lot of our customers. So I really wanted to ask you, Joe, a little bit about what you've been hearing and talking to customers in the UK, in the US, and if you'd share a little bit about that with us to kind of give us a sense of some of the topics that we might discuss over the next few episodes.
Absolutely. So I think it's fair to say that document automation is deployed at different rates in different organisations. So Contract Express has been around for many years, and some are just starting their document automation journey, and some started it a long time ago. But regardless of when you start the journey, the customer and client demand is increasing, and the need for document automation is also increasing. So it'll be we hear different things around where's the best place to start with quick wins. So documents that are used more regularly, documents that are used increasing amounts of time over a short period, but also those longer, more complex documents that may be more difficult to complete the first draft, where you can add detail in to make that a lot quicker. So we're across multiple practice areas and multiple jurisdictions. We also can assist with migrations from maybe legacy providers of Contract Express. And Julie, would you like to share a bit more on that?
Yeah, so in working with firms, we work with firms, of course, across the gamut in terms of how much they've used document automation and whether they're absolutely new to Contract Express or new to document automation. Some of what we're hoping to explore on this and creating the user community, or what are the best ways to migrate from an older platform? What are the best ways to move forward once you've migrated? Are there ways that you can leverage practical law as part of your automation strategy? Is there ways that you can leverage the open API to use data that you've already got in place? And I know that there are, of course, different kinds of challenges that we'll want to explore, of course, based on the different levels of automation in different places that you all are at with automation. And Jo, what are you thinking about that? What's everybody doing right now?
Yeah, so I think that's a really interesting area. Is everyone is interested in what other firms are doing, what stage they're at in their document automation journey, starting with the easy quick win documents, as I mentioned, the ones that are high volume, cross practice, but also making sure that you have an executive sponsorship internally at the firm and helping that person or that team in helping drive document automation forward. Also the resource. So some firms have a team behind their document automation journey, and some are less resourced, and therefore we also have the professional services team at Thomson Reuters that's available to help kickstart any projects you may have. So we can help if there is a backlog and you need to get some documents out quicker, then we can help support you with that. And yes, so I think executive sponsorship and resourcing are areas that are spoken about a lot. Then also where you can make the biggest impact. So asking yourselves, what do you need to achieve internally, and what are your business objectives for Contract Express, and how can we support you in achieving those? And where should we deploy next? What are you currently doing to increase adoption internally? So whether you can do some informal events or online sessions to help really promote document automation at the firm. There's also client use. So if you're interested in learning a bit more about that with guest access or client use, we could cover that in one of our sessions as well. So please let us know in the questionnaire. There's also what additional practice areas could we venture into next as well. And earlier on I briefly mentioned best practice. So a lot of firms do their document automation and have governance and best practice set around rules that they use when they launch a project, which would be a new document. So it'd be really interested to hear more about what the firms are doing, and share that back with the group as well to help those that are starting their journey. And Julie, would you like to share a bit more on the HiQ and what the future looks like for Contract Express?
Yes, so I'm sure as many of you know, we have integration coming later this year between Contract Express and HiQ, which is slated to launch in the 5.4 version of HiQ. So there will also be a virtual HiQ forum May 13th and 14th. So if you're interested in attending that, let us know. We can forward you an invitation if you haven't already received it. And that can be if you want to hear all about the HiQ platform, or if you want to sort of just hear the integration piece, there's a specific session for that. So we'll be happy to share that info with anybody on the call. And so that is, again, coming later on this year. So we're coming to the end of our brief 15-minute webcast here. And one of the things that we really want to do here is really start to create a community. So today's webcast was really just to introduce those of you to me and to Jo, if you haven't met Jo before. But as Jo said, she's going to send out a questionnaire with some info. All of the info that we get from that will be anonymized, and we'll also ask you, of course, if you'd like to participate, if you'd like to be interviewed, if you'd like to have more of an informal discussion in some of these webcasts. We're really looking for ways to create the community that you want to create, and again, to translate that into something live when we can all work outside of our homes again. So our contact information is on the screen. Of course, the support team information on there as well, to remind you that the support team is available for document automation and technical support queries. And if you're not using our Contract Express knowledge base, that's also a great place to sign up and get information, ask queries, and start to communicate with users globally as well. So if you don't have access to the knowledge base, shoot us an email, and we'll make sure that you get access next time. We'll have a recording of this as well, so we will send that out and share that. Feel free to share it with other colleagues who might not have been able to attend today. And one of the things that we'll ask you in the survey is if this is the right amount of time, 15 minutes, or if you'd like to have varying amounts of time to sit and have a coffee and explore this with us. So please give us your candid feedback. And thanks again for joining us today. Jo, any last thoughts from you today?
No, I think that's it. Thank you very much, everyone. And we look forward to working with you and having regular checkups like this.
Have a good day. Stay well.